our thing here. So we have our air tube there, or air tube piece. Now let's put it, I guess, right here. Air full, which is, it looks like it is, okay. And set it as 0.4. Oops. Okay. Let's just leave it aligned like that and see what it does. Get rid of that purple stuff in the background. Alright. Now see, if you noticed, once she walks into it, it automatically starts moving her up. And then whenever she gets to the top, what takes over is the same as pose thing, and it keeps pushing her up into the air. If you don't have that same as pose piece that tells the game that she's moving up, she'll actually go up and then fall all the way back down and then go up and fall all the way back down. The same as pose telling her that she's moving up doesn't allow her to come back down, and she ends up just bouncing on the top, which effectively creates the trampoline. Like if you do it with a ball. I missed. That's when I came out on the side. There we go. Yeah, it just creates a kind of trampoline effect. Now remember, this one doesn't do anything. You're sitting there still, you can't do nothing. This one automatically starts to push you into the air, just like that. Now, the reason why my air tubes work is whenever you put them together. Let's see that. Come back out. Now, we take this 004, and we put that right there. And we take the 003s, and we put them right there. And now, we end up mixing these two pieces, in which makes it where you have no control of whether you're going in the air or not. Because once she goes up, there it is. The piece of the 004, this piece right here, starts the process by moving Samus up without her doing anything, and in other words, sets her a constant, or a variable speed, or a vertical speed. It sets a vertical speed automatically. And then once she reaches the top, it releases her by pushing her up in the air, as you see, like how she bounces. And once she ends up bouncing, the 003, this part of the code, takes over and just constantly moves her up at that 003. So I don't even have to jump now, and it constantly pushes me up into the air, which was the whole point of the air tube, because you want the air to force you up in the air, which is exactly how it works. And that's my air tubes right there. Now, I actually put the 4-piece, right, this particular piece of the code into the ground. That way, once you walked on it, you just started to bounce. And once you bounced, it shot you up into the air. Now, go back, just real quick, and we take a look at our next piece, our 500. You can pretty much figure these out just by looking at the RAM map. Let's close this. This is for BTS 5 because we're using B5 and B6 instead of B4. It loads into the accumulator vertical. What was it, down? Yeah, which is 6. Now notice I have it as a faster speed because gravity will push you farther down, especially when air is blowing on you, rather than when you're moving up in the air and when you're fighting against the gravity. So that's just to create a more realistic event. And you store that in vertical distance. So that does the exact same thing as this one right here, except instead of vertical up, I'm using vertical down. So, to show, if you put that 5 into Smile, and you did the same thing, once again, you'd walk into the area with the BTS of 5, and nothing would happen, but when you jump, you would jump very fast because it was 6, and when you fall, you would fall very fast. Now this last piece, which was actually easier to understand than the one that went up, because now we don't have to subtract because we want her to go down, like she was supposed to. So now what we have to do is load the speed, set it to distance low, which is going to be this piece right here. Now notice we don't have to do anything with the subtract distance high, because even when they're added together, it doesn't matter because we want it to be a positive number, not a negative number. So all it does is set the speed, distance low, and that's it. this does the same as pose, and this pose is down, which means 2, which says it's sending the same as down, which bounces her down towards the ground. And then it does the same effect. This particular piece right here, whenever Samus touches it, forces her down without her having to do anything. She just automatically gets forced down, which sets a vertical speed in which this BTS block right here takes over, manually sets that vertical speed to 006, and keeps it at that constant level until she hits the ground or is out of that BTS block area. And that's how the air tubes work. That's all the code there. It'll probably be easier, or I wouldn't try running this code because some of my comments don't have the X or the semicolons by them, so it'll probably cause problems. So just run the original code. But then you can pretty much experiment. I don't mind people messing with it, but you could change these values to whatever you want. Change the speed, and then you could change it to, I mean, you could even set to where it pushes her horizontally, so that way you could create like a little maze to where she like shoots up, but then she hits one that pushes her to the left, and then she constantly moves to the left and then down, and like create some kind of like air tunnel system that pushes her all around and all over the place. So hopefully you got it. It's kind of hard to explain, especially since, like I said, I'm very basic on my knowledge, so I don't know much, but I figured I'd try to share it with people out there so you guys can start creating stuff. And once you get to where you can understand it a little bit, you can kind of take other people's pieces and go over them, try to figure out what they did, and just change their stuff around, so then you can start creating your own stuff that maybe has the opposite effect of what they originally had it doing, but you just changed it to where it does the backwards thing, but that's right what you needed in your ROM or something. So, like I said, hopefully this helped, and if I learn more, I'll definitely post some more tutorials. Thanks.